Hi, folks. Aaron Heeg here today with Coach Eric Ford from Piedmont. I am so excited about today's interview with Coach Eric. He is a special treasure here in the soil of Oklahoma wrestling, and I am just looking forward to hearing his thoughts about the world of wrestling in Oklahoma. How are you doing today, Coach?
Doing pretty well. Just rushing around trying to get things done.
Yeah, my understanding is you guys are heading down to Tuttle today to be part of, is it the Greg Henning Invitational?
Greg Hitting Invitational. It'll be our first time wrestling in it. We've had so much mat time canceled on us. We called and asked if we could get in, and they graciously are allowing us. So we're going to go compete and get some mat time.
It's a wonderful time right now. I've noticed that with all of the mat time in the last quarter of 2020 being canceled, man, January has been packed full of wrestling. I have loved it, brother.
We've been busy. I mean, it's been Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday since we got back from Christmas break, and just trying to navigate those waters and stay healthy and stay sane.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, hey, listen, I understand through some of my journeys here with O Wrestle across the state, talking with coaches and even athletes, that you're not a novice to the Oklahoma high school wrestling world. You have some history here. Tell us a
Yeah.
little bit about your history, boss.
Obviously, I'm from Chickasha, Oklahoma. Started wrestling in the 7th grade under Coach Randall. He needed a 75-pounder and recruited me out of off season. I was going to play basketball, but then wrestled 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th grade, and was fortunate enough to get to stand on the podium at the state tournament 4 times. And fun fact, I stood on every step of the podium. Tournament. So I've got a first, second, third, and fourth, and in no particular order. Third.
Hey, at least you kept climbing the mountain, right,
Yeah.
Coach?
Well, I didn't really. It's kind of strange. I went third, and then first, and then fourth, and then second.
So you went up a little bit, down a little bit, back up. Oh, that's good. That's awesome.
Just kind of a little bit all over the place. Had a pretty good high school career. I wrestled a couple years at OU under Coach Spates, and down there, finished up my degree at OU, and did 1 year as a wrestling coach at John Marshall High School, kind of as a favor to a family friend, a guy I'd known for a long time, and applied for the job in Piedmont at 23 years old and accepted it. And I've been here. This is year 11.
Year 11 at Piedmont. Wow, that's a long tenure there as a head coach. You must, have a motivation, a well of passion as a coach. And I always like to dig out, discover, mine, however you want to say it, the reason why. Why do you coach, Coach Ford?
I think the simple answer is that I want to have an impact on kids. I had coaches that really helped guide me through a lot of experiences in life and really kind of helped me through it. And then, just were always there for me and had tremendous impacts on me. But I would also say just another reason I like to compete. It's a competitive outlet for me. I get
Absolutely.
to kind of, I tell my kids all the time, I won a dance contest in the 5th grade and I can't dance. I like to compete, and everything I do, I want to compete in. And this is just an outlet on that. But at the end of the day, it just boils down to that. I want to impact kids in a positive way, impart some of my knowledge and wisdom on them and help them grow as people and as athletes and as students. And that's the most fun thing in the world. And if you ever get a chance to do it, I recommend it to anybody, because there's not many things I've found as quite as fulfilling as that, as seeing kids set and strive to achieve goals and the process that it takes to do that.
Man, that is so powerful. So I'm hearing you say, Coach Ford, that 2 of the dynamics that motivate you in the realm of coaching is you want to influence / impact the lives of young people. And 2, you're just a diehard competitor, man. You love to compete.
I do. And I man, if I'm not any good at something, I try to shy away from it because I'm not a very good loser. So
me too, dude.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of stay away from some new things. And I don't know. I really enjoy the competitive aspect of wrestling. And as a coach, I feel like I get to live it over and over and over. And you get in a dual meet, I get to sit through 14 competitions. And I feel like, no matter who we're competing against, I'm right there with them. And, we're just getting after it together.
Yeah, that's powerful. I'm not per se a philosopher, but I really do like the psychological element of wrestling. I like to understand the interpersonal dynamics of why coaches coach, why athletes compete, and the context that you're providing us in regards to why you coach. I have such a passion to help bring that kind of education to other coaches across the country, Coach Ford, meaning this: if our philosophy as a coach first starts with impacting the lives of young people, our motivation is going to be pure when it comes to competition. Our whole growth and development process never becomes about the wins and losses. It becomes about us as coaches showing these kids that we care for them and we have their best interests in mind. And then the wins and losses take care of themselves.
You're absolutely right. If we teach them we teach them the dynamics of what it takes to be young men and what it takes to, like I said, navigate these waters that they're in, whatever it may be going through. If we teach them how to fight through that and what it takes to be successful in and out of the wrestling room, how to be disciplined, how to compete, the wins and losses are going to take care of themselves. And I try not to get too caught up in the wins and losses, but it's hard sometimes. And sometimes, you have to take a step back and just remind yourself that it's not all about that. But at the end of the day, we just want these kids to be successful people. And that's for my part, that starts right here in the wrestling room behind me. So,
yeah, that's right. So listen, it sounds to me like you've had some kind of fatherly influence in your life to shape your perspective that's brought you to this point. Do you have a good relationship with your dad? And if so, what was one thing that you remember clearly him saying to you that really altered the course of your life?
Absolutely. So my dad recently passed away in October, and he's huge influence on my life. I mean, everything that goes through my head, I feel like comes from him. I've heard that as you become older, you become more and more like your parents, and I just feel like I'm getting to that point. But I definitely had a turning point moment in my competitive career and just in life in general with my dad. And I tell people January 3rd, 2001, OU's playing football in the national championship game that night against Florida State. And the Chickasha Fighting Chicks traveled to Lawton, Oklahoma to wrestle a triangle versus Lawton High and I believe a team from El Paso, Texas. Anyway, I go out there and I lay down and I get hammered on for 2 matches. And my dad just grabbed me, and after the duel, after Coach Randall had already chewed me out for quite some time, and he said, "Hey, you're going to ride home with me." He'd never done that before. So I rode home with him. It's about 45 minutes from Lawton.
You're thinking, oh my God, my dad's going to be so ticked off at me, man.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yes. 45 minutes from Lawton to Chickasha, and the entire car ride, I could go on and on about it. But at the end of the day, the gist of it was, if you're going to do something in life, and if it's worth doing, the effort has to be better. You're not going to go lay down anymore. You're not going to, if we're going to do this thing, then we're going to go out there and we're going to put everything we have into it, whether that's in the practice room, whether that's in the, or on the competition mat. Anything worth doing is worth doing as hard as you can with the max effort. So
man, I love that, brother. That is powerful. And I'm sure that guided you in how you coach and what kind of expectations and standards you have for your wrestlers.
Yes, and anybody that knows my dad knows that it wasn't put as nicely as I just put it, but it was very, very impactful for me, and really changed the course of my wrestling career and the course of my life. Every time I look back on kind of that turning point moment in my wrestling career, just in my development as a person, I think back to that moment and how that impacted me.
Man, that's so powerful. Listen, so just to try to tie a couple of things together. The why question, why you coach, is to influence, impact young people. and you're a competitor. And I think it would be safe to say that as coaches, we have our ups and we have our downs through the course of our coaching career. And I think all coaches handle adversity a bit different. But it sounds to me like your dad gave you some pretty solid advice when it comes to overcoming adversity. Eric, you've got to continue to give maximum effort, whether you win or you lose. Is that safe to say, or are there some other keys that maybe you use to overcome adversity as a coach?
No, I think that's definitely one of the keys. I mean, I'm a thinker. I'm a writer. I sit there and go home and I write down my thoughts, and I try to tie those all together. And I can point to so many different points in my life where either a coach or my dad or someone helped guide me through it. And teaching me that athletics is a sanctuary. This is 2 hours a day where you can go in and forget about everything. So when I have adversity in life, which that never stops, right?
Exactly,
I'm
man.
in my 30s now, and I still experience quite a bit of adversity. But every day I walk in that wrestling room, that's 2 hours where my full attention is here on practicing wrestling, on teaching kids a craft. And when I walk back outside, life can hit me in the face again. But for 2 hours, I'm in here, and this is all that matters. And I try to impart that on my kids also. Anytime they're going through some tough times, like, hey man, that's fine. We're all going to go through tough times, but while you're in here, you don't have to worry about those tough times. We'll take care of you. So
Yeah.
there's just so many things I can look at in my life that have led me to this point, that have gotten me to this point. But coaches and parents, obviously are the contributing factor to helping me get there. But I just truly believe that, athletics is an opportunity for kids to get in, grow as people, and have just a little bit of time away from this crazy world that we live in.
Yeah, I love that statement. Athletics is a sanctuary. It's the point in the day where you have 2 hours to just let everything in your mind escape you and give maximum effort and sweat it out your pores. I love that, Coach. That's so powerful, man. Listen, I have so enjoyed my time with you, man. You are a treasure in my life, and you are a treasure to the high school wrestling community here in Oklahoma. Thank you so much for the things that you've done and what you're going to do in your future, brother.
Well, thank you, and look forward to seeing you down the road. And hopefully we get to compete against each other. Hopefully we got some guys that can go up and battle it out through sometime this year, next year, down the road.
Yeah,
I believe competition is bringing out the best in your opponent.
that's right.
And that's all we try to do here in Piedmont. And I'm fortunate that I've got a platform that I get to spread that. So thank you for having me today and giving me this opportunity.
Oh, yeah, my pleasure, dude. Listen, best wishes to you down today in Tuttle, and we'll talk to you soon. Okay, boss?
Thanks, Aaron.
Ciao.